So for my first long form video, I'd like to read from the Qur'an, or an English translation actually, just to start the whole thing off and give you an idea of what the Qur'an is about. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Chapter 1, the opening. In the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. Praise belongs to God, Lord of the worlds, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. Master of the day of judgment. It is you we worship. It is you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, those who incur no anger and who have not gone astray. So this gives us an idea of what Islam is really about. First and foremost, it's about God. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's not about the world, it's not about all the distractions in the world, all of the nonsense that's going on a daily basis. Islam is not really about any of those things. Islam is about where you are heading, where are you going to go after you die. That's what this is about. You've got to live a God-centered life. That's what Islam is about, living a life centered around God. So it begins with, in the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. In Arabic, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We try to begin everything we do with these words, in the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. Praise belongs to God, Lord of the worlds, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy, master of the day of judgment. So this gives us lots of titles of God: Master of the Day of Judgment, the Giver of Mercy, the Lord of Mercy, Lord of the Worlds. And it says praise belongs to God, not to us. So when was the last time you did something and thought, look at me, I'm great, I'm so great? That's the ego, isn't it? That's your ego. That's the devil, Satan, whispering in your ear, look how great you are. Nowadays, what with the economy the way it is, lots of people are not getting the financial returns that they feel like they deserve. And so they look at the people who are getting money and they feel jealous. They start feeling, I deserve praise, I deserve money. You don't really deserve anything, because all praise belongs to God. It's God who is doing everything. All power and strength comes from him. And then it says, it is you we worship. It is you we ask for help. Again, this is all about having one object of worship in your life. You cannot be a Muslim and worship multiple things. You cannot be a Muslim and worship God today and then tomorrow genuinely act like you believe your provision comes from your boss and your employer. It's very common nowadays amongst people who consider themselves to be Muslims, and yet they talk about their boss as if their boss is God. This is frightening. Like, why would you do that? Why would you talk about your boss in that way? Why would you say, oh, he has every right to treat me like dirt? It's a very common thing I hear people say. This is not the kind of things Muslims should be saying, not if you're a believer. It is you we worship. It is you we ask for help. Your boss is not the source of your income, your provision. God is the source of everything you get. It is you we worship. It is you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those you have blessed. So this brings up one of the most important principles in Islam, the straight path. Not the path that goes all over the place, the path that is a straight line, the one that doesn't deviate. What does that refer to? Well, it means not taking the easy way out and taking the short-term, expedient way of doing things. So again, let's say that you're at work and your boss has asked you to do something morally questionable. Most people would just do it because they think they can just say, when they're standing in front of God, they can say, oh, but I was just following orders. Nowhere in Islam does it say that you can use that as an excuse. Not unless somebody literally has a gun to your head or is pointing a knife at you, can you use that as an excuse. Your boss, they might tell you to do something that is morally questionable, and you have every right and ability to say no. If you really were afraid of God, that's what you would do. You would say no. But then people bring up these excuses. Oh, but then I would starve. Oh, my family would be homeless. None of that is true, right? I mean, we're not falling for it. Why do you think God is going to fall for it? So you've got to put God at the center of your life, and you've got to realize that all of your provision comes from Him.